moved to Real Madrid. Do you remember the first training session when you joined a changing room with Ronaldo, Beckham, Roberto Carlos, Robinho, like the list goes on and on? Do you remember the very first time that you looked around and said, wow, this is the reserve team, look at them?
Yeah, yeah. And I was very impressive about also the Real Madrid facility, because it was Valdebebas, and was incredible, was very good. The pitches was they were like, you know, carpet, like unbelievable. The feeling was really, really good. But not only the first day, but all the 3 years in Madrid, I think I did amazing experience with one of the great club in the world.
Another question here. Is that Takeshi 1796? Not the best you've ever faced, but who was your best partner in defense, in central defense? I mean, you've had, I don't know if you want to say one, because I don't think it's even fair. No? If you think of how many you had, like from Ciro Ferrara all the way up, then to Nesta, you play with Bergomi,
Costa Curta, Maldini, Chiellini. But the guys I played 8 years, 9 years is Lilian Thuram. Because with the Lilian in Parma and after in Juventus, the feeling was very good.
Yeah,
I know that I can make a mistake. Yeah, I know that behind me always was Lilian Thuram, and for him was the same. And when we were lucky, because behind us, you know, when you have a Buffon, you can do a lot of mistakes, and after that, I can save you.
That's just such an interesting thing in your career, no? So like you start with Ciro Ferrara back in Napoli, and then you're going to meet him again. You start with Lilian Thuram and Buffon in Parma, and then you're going to meet yourself again. Capello, you play in Juve, and then you go to Real Madrid.
Yeah, but the football is like that, Bruno. Football is such incredible sport, and sometimes give to you the opportunity to meet great people, great teammates, and you just need to be enjoyed it.
You know that I was telling you about World Cup at home. Let me see just what day it is. On Saturday, next Saturday, 9th of May, 6 o'clock European time, we're going to air France-Croatia from the 98 World Cup, the game that Thuram scores 2 goals.
Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, exactly that one. That is worth it. I mean, when he was playing, of course, as a right wing.
I think they are the only two score he did in the Lilian Thuram life.
Yeah, I mean, he
they are the only
scored any goals. Yeah.
I think the only 2.
It's not bad, no? So if you need to choose 2, that's not a bad moment for him.
Yeah.
There's Lui Caramba 02 and also we wrote in Italian, but I was
Bruno,
so global.
sorry, Bruno, when we started to speak Italian, Spanish, you told me, you know that my English is not good. I'm starting to sweat.
Your English is fantastic. I'll ask this one in English. And then
no, I joke. It's okay. Come on.
I know you're joking. Your
Come on.
English is
I need to practice.
I am not joking.
I need to learn English. I need to practice more.
You have an interpreter there, I suppose. You speak Italian, and the interpreter translates it to Chinese to your place?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about with the Brazilians?
We starting. I know that it's not Portuguese, but it's Spanish. We started we speak in Spanish language.
Portuguese.
And you know that when I arrived here, my idea was starting to learn Chinese.
Oh, yeah?
And my translator said to me, boss, I don't think it's a good idea, because if you started to speak Chinese, after I can lose my job.
So he's an interpreter and he's honest. It's a good guy. Keep him.
He's very smart guy. He's very smart guy.
No, your English is excellent. A lot of people are just saying the same there. Even a fellow with an English flag. Maybe he's just trying to cuddle you, but that's it. Who's your favorite defender in the world right now, modern football? Well, first this, and then I'll go on.
It's not one. I think Sergio Ramos, Van Dijk, Giorgio Chiellini. It's not only one. It's not only one. Of course, Van Dijk last year, he did an amazing season. He did a great job. was unbelievable, this guy last year. And it's not only one, because also Sergio Ramos, I think, is really good. Giorgio Chiellini, I think they are the best now, right now.
You stopped playing almost 10 years already. Wow.
That's about right,
If Fabio Cannavaro was starting his career right now as a defender, would you have to prepare yourself differently? Would anything be different? Did the game change enough to justify something or no?
Was difficult also my generation, and this generation also is really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
The nice thing, now they don't have a lot of strikers like before.
You think so?
Before, yeah, no, I mean, not like before. In Italy, you know, the league was really tough.
Mm-hmm.
The league was like a Premier League now. Everyone want to come to Italy, enjoy the Italian Serie A. Mm-hmm. And I remember the strikers that time was not so Battistuta, Trezeguet, Ronaldo, Rui Costa, a lot, Vieri, Inzaghi, Del Piero, Totti. Everyone was in Italy. Mm-hmm. And now as a defender, I think they are lucky because it's not like before. Mm-hmm. And but we can't compare the football, because every generation has the good things and the bad things.
Do you think, whose question? Aitor 1710. Do you think a defender will ever win the best, like the best in the world, again? Is it feasible? Like, was it a one-off? Because I don't count, honestly, Lothar Matthäus, not because he was not good, but because he was not really a defender, no? He was a sweeper. He had a very important offensive role.
Was midfielders.
Matthias Sammer, when he won the Ballon d'Or, same thing. Even if he played defense sometimes. But you play defense. Yeah. And Beckenbauer even more, yeah. Do you think anyone else, is it possible? Like, as much as image and as much as social media keeps us talking about goals and highlights, is it impossible to see a defender?
Bruno, depends about many things. I was lucky because that 2006 I won the World Cup. I did the great performance, but not only that. Also, I remember the players like Zidane. He did like the mistakes in the final. Thierry Henry, he lost the World Cup final and Champions League final. Ronaldinho as well. So I was lucky because a lot of combination. In the end, you know, my names get out, and but for me it was a big surprise because as defender was like impossible. You know, no one, like you said before, in the past won this kind of trophy. It was only for the strikers, midfielders, and not for the defenders and goalkeeper. So I was really lucky, but also I did a great season with Juventus and with the national team, of course.
You know who just said he could be the best in the world in the chat right now? Roberto Carlos.
My amigo! Also Roberto Carlos, I remember that in 2000.
But Roberto Carlos was not a defender. He was almost a left winger.
No, I know that.
Never came back.
He played with me. He played with me in Madrid. I played with him in Madrid. So he always was, you know.
Escutou, Roberto? Você era ponta esquerda, Roberto. Não era defensor, não. Não fala bobagem. Another question. It's an interesting one. I wonder. I'm curious as well. Princess IC. You led the Azzurri as a captain, won the World Cup, huh? Would you want to one day lead the national team of Italy as a head coach? Is that a dream? Is it a possibility? Is it nothing? What is it?
I don't know. Of course, I'm from Italy. I was the captain for my national team. I won the World Cup as a captain, and of course, as a coach, my goal in the future is to try to do my best. And if we're talking about the important position, national team or important clubs in Europe, of course I is my dream. It's my dream to come back to Europe and do my best.
Yeah, with the job you're doing there, wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Another question. Sorry, I forgot who passed on who it was. I just memorized the question. Who were your idols growing up? Tell us a bit about this childhood or teenage years in Napoli. Who did you look up to?
That time Maradona was in Napoli.
Mm-hmm.
Time Maradona for Napolitan people was like God, and everyone look at him like, you know, someone came from another world. Mm-hmm. And of course myself, of course, all the Napoli players, but for me Ciro Ferrara was the guys I'm looking at, because he from Napoli. He was he growing up in the Napoli Academy. Mm-hmm. And for us, Ciro was one of the guys, you know, looking at, and for me as well. I love him as a friend. We have the foundation together, and we have a very good relationship now. And it's nice because I as a friend with the Chira, a very good relationship.
Mm-hmm. And you end up playing with both of them, like making to the first team. What is the true story about the famous training session with Maradona? I said true story. You look worried. No, don't worry.
No, it's nothing special. I was the guys from second team, you know, and usually they do the friendly game during the week. Mm-hmm. And during one game, I was, you know, I started to be very aggressive, and one guy outside, the assistant coach, told me, Fabio, go slowly, be careful, it's Maradona. And he came to me and said, don't worry, Fabio, play as normal. I don't care of them. Play as normal.
Was he the...
No, it's nice. It means a lot. It means a lot.
Yeah, of course. How old were you? You were 17, 18?
I'm 17, yes, yeah. 17. And, you know, it's like, you know, this guy is one of the most famous players in the world. And he came to me and he just told me, don't worry, you know, it was nice things. Nice things.
Who sent the question here? We're talking about coaching, no? You work with a lot of top coaches over the course of your career. Capello, Lippi, Cesare Maldini. What did each of them teach you that you use today as a head coach?
Bruno, you are freezing again.